Coming up today on This Is True, Really? Mike O'Brien terrorizes Ford.
Mikey, let you terrorizing Ford for?
Their lack of ability to use the English language.
Carry on.
If you like things like that, please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True, Really News. If you have a problem with this or just want to leave some sort of comment, please leave it where you found us. Or if it's long and involved, like it involves, God punishing us by orders of magnitude, send it to TITR@netradio.network.
Orders of magnitude?
Well, remember, that's what came in the letter. We were making fun of the Pope. By orders of magnitude.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Yeah. You know you've made it when you've been threatened with orders of magnitude.
From the Pope?
Yep. Do you know how you can call the Pope?
Oh.
Just dial one.
Ah!
Yeah, still works. Workers at Arlington... I'm going to do a story now.
Okay, I'm going to wait right here.
I don't know if it's funny or not. It just showed up on my screen.
I'll continue waiting right over here.
Workers at Arlington Auto Wrecking in Akron, Ohio had enough of 26-year-old Alexander Funk. It seems that young Alexander had broken into the facility 3 times, according to Fox News.
And they had to find a way to get the funk out. Or keep the funk out.
Hard to get the funk out. It's just,
yeah.
You have to use those weird bath beads that old boy singing band talks about. Anyway, in the most recent incident, Funk broke into an SUV on the lot, but before he could drive away, a forklift driver hoisted Yan vehicle about 20 feet off the ground with young Master Alexander inside.
You know, what's funny about that is you've seen it on TV shows, but you never expect it to happen in real life.
So what do you do when you've got a thief cornered? You dial 911.
Sure.
They tried to explain what was going on to the operator, who stopped them mid-sentence and said, "This is wonderful. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard." I'd have to agree, ma'am, sir. Officers arrived. Funk was then lowered to the ground and handcuffed because it would be hard to handcuff him way up there.
Right.
You'd
the cop would have to be fairly tall.
You'd have to have Spider Cop go get him.
Spider Cop.
You know, Spider Cop.
Spider Cop.
Yeah, does whatever a Spider Cop does.
I just found out that a lot of spiders have their sex organs in their wrists, which makes Spider-Man a real problem for me now.
You're not reading Fauci's newsletter, are you?
No.
Officers arrived. Funk was lowered to the ground and handcuffed. He was charged with criminal trespassing, possessing criminal tools, and giving them a story to tell for years.
Just took off.
What I would, oh, please, why wasn't it a Tesla? Because then you could have had the cameras catching his marvelous reaction.
Oh,
as suddenly his wheels aren't touching.
And I
picture it something like Shadow. I had this dog that looked very wolf-like.
Yes.
80 pounds of manly beast.
With blue eyes.
No, he had brown.
He had brown eyes.
He was a Malamute, not a Husky.
He was a mulet.
Sure. Malamute.
Yeah, that's what I said.
In the old days, if you wanted speed, you went with Huskies. If you wanted distance and staying, you went Malleys. They were a little bigger. Anyway, where was I? Caro, I got him because he looked like a wolf.
Yep.
And his markings even made him look like he was frowning all the time, which is odd because he was the nicest dog.
He really was a sweetie.
And if you ever picked him up, as my daughter liked to do just to annoy him, he would struggle like the Dickens for about 5 seconds.
And then flump.
And then it was, "It's over. I can't touch the ground. I hope they're nice to me. If the end comes, I hope it's quick." He was the most submissive freaking animal I ever got. So that's somehow how I picture young Alexander Funk. I can get out of here. I can. Mommy.
No, I can't. This from the Wall Street Journal.
That's the Journal on Wall Street?
Yes. Mike O'Brien emailed a few hundred colleagues the other day to announce his retirement after 32 years at Ford Motors. The sales executive's note included the obligatory career reflections and thank yous, but it came with a twist. Attached to maybe. Attached to the email was a spreadsheet detailing a few thousand grammatical violations committed by his coworkers over the years.
Oh, I don't know how to tell him this, but grammar's dead. No one cares anymore, apparently.
Oh, just wait till you
just listen to any network newscast. They can't construct a sentence, for God's sake.
During a 2019 sales meeting to discuss a new vehicle launch, a colleague blurted out, "Let's not reinvent the ocean." At another meeting in 2016, someone started...
Couldn't they at least have gone with a man-made lake?
Someone started a sentence with, "I don't want to sound like a broken drum here, but for more than a decade, O'Brien kept a meticulous log of mixed metaphors and malaprops uttered in Ford meetings. From company-wide gatherings to side conversations, here are a few more."
Yummy.
"It's a huge task, but we're trying to get our arms and legs around it." Which sounds just...
shinny up it like a tree?
Sounds mildly kinky.
Ooh.
"We need to keep running in our swim lanes."
So what happens when you cut the deck in half and then shuffle?
"I think we need to talk to Peter and Jesus. I know these are swing for the moon opportunities, but I think we should pursue them."
Son, we've landed on the moon. You generally swing for the stars.
Yeah.
Even Casey Kasem knew that.
Or the fence.
That'd be fine.
Swing for the fence.
I never swung for the fence because I thought it was very far away.
Yeah, I used to swing for right over the infielders' heads.
Yeah. Actually, I was swinging for the fence, but that's generally where it ended up.
"We need to make sure dealers have some skin in the teeth."
What?
Yeah, we need to make sure dealers have some skin in the teeth. Which, when you think about it, is really disgusting. And skin.
That's cannibalism, dude.
Ooh.
Or you're eating a raw aminal.
I think in the
That
same...
is not sushi.
I think in the same meeting, somebody said there were too many cooks in the soup. And then there were the cannibals. Look, read between the tea leaves.
Do you suppose they're trying to be funny?
No.
And just coming off as stupid?
The one guy actually said, I would be talking and I would hear a pen click and I would go, "Oh no, what did I say?"
This can't be good.
"I'm not trying to beat a dead horse to death." And finally, we need to talk about the elephant in the closet. I think we need to talk about the closet. How big is that damn thing?
Yeah. How big is the house?
I was going to say, you've ridden an elephant. You have an idea.
If the house is, if that's like closet space,
I want one.
It may be bigger than my studio.
I think.
Oh, well, that's the way the ball
crumbles.
Dr. Jason Gladwell, an orthodontist in Raleigh, North Carolina, had a catchy new promotion back in the day.
Ooh.
According to WRAL TV, grins and glocks.
Is this like hard liquor and handgun night?
I hope so. What could go wrong there? Yep, patients who signed up for Invisalign braces with Dr. Gladwell can choose between a free Glock 19 or a membership to the Youngville Gun Club and Range.
That is the most...
Take the membership. You can find out which handgun you would like later.
Yeah, because Glocks are notorious for being really difficult for some people and just fine for others.
Yeah, you either love them or hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. 95% of humanity goes, you like who?
Yeah.
Because they like the other.
And I like both. So
I do. I do that with Coke and Pepsi. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The deal is open to those of 21 years of age or more
who can pass a background check.
And the club will conduct a background check on the recipients.
Okay.
Dr. Gladwell has received thus far mixed reactions to the advertisement. Notably, Align Technology. They are the folks that makes Invisalign.
Okay, and they
don't like it. This promotion does not reflect our brand purpose.
Yeah.
Your brand purpose is teeth.
Braces.
Has nothing to do with
handguns.
The extra add-on.
Yeah, yeah.
So just because you're a gun-hating, willy-nilly, wimpy, simpy...
I'm scared by the poo-poos. Pew-pews. I'm also scared by the poo-poos.
Guns kill people. Not once has a gun ever laying on a desk killed someone.
None of my guns has ever gotten up and harassed anybody.
Well, that one was pretty smart mouth, though.
It was. Yeah. But, we dealt with that in an appropriate fashion.
You buy a Colt, you get that Sam Colt attitude no matter what.
I just walked away from the mirror and he shut up.
He didn't roll over and shoot you?
No.
Stupid gun.
The Flathead Beacon Police Blotter.
Finally, a bit of normalcy.
11:40.
Hang on.
Okay, you got to be ready.
You can't say that every time because sooner or later it catches up with you. Go ahead.
11:47 a.m. A man was disappointed in himself.
As was his wife.
For accidentally cooking rotten eggs for Sunday brunch.
Son?
He couldn't tell? He couldn't tell.
There's a tell. You know how some people, when they play poker, they've got a good hand. They do something, right? They blink too much. They act like a gorilla throwing feces.
Yes.
There's a tell with rotten eggs.
Yeah, well,
and I've been an asthmatic with allergies since birth.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a smoker since I was 18. The only thing I can really smell are like skunk if it's dead and it's under my car.
Mm-hmm.
Directly under my car.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everything is shades of nothing. Except for...
rotten eggs.
That you can smell, dude. That
baby.
Will cut... You want to get rid of skunk smell, break a rotten egg over it, and it'll go away.
This is kind of like me the time Anne was descaling the our boiling pot. We have a pot that Drew gave us. Well, we boil water in it to make coffee and tea and stuff, right?
Oh, that's so...
And she was hoity-toity, shut up. And we don't have a kettle for the stove. We just have
What is wrong with you?
Because
it's not very Scottish of you.
No, it is actually very European.
No, I've checked. All of the Scots say you have a kettle. That way you make a cuppa out of the kettle.
Well,
I don't know what. I have no idea.
That kettle on the boil is now on a little pad on the. It's no longer on the stove. In any case, Anne was descaling it, and there was a vinegar.
So she was climbing down?
No.
I just descaled the faucet, so go ahead.
She poured vinegar in it to descale it and left the vinegar bottle nearby on the counter. And I walked in to make coffee, and I went, I smell vinegar. Huh. Turn the coffee pot on. Oh, look, there's a gallon of vinegar right there. Okay, well, it must be it.
I'll put it away.
And
how was your coffee?
Unusual.
Understandable.
She says, you're a complete idiot. And I said, oh, well, I knew something was wrong when I tasted it.
You know what, sweetheart? You knew that when you married me, okay? That was right there in the contract.
6:14 p.m. Dispatch was informed they have a cute voice. Why that was an emergency, I don't know.
To which Malcolm said, thank you.
Yes. Thank Malcolm?
Well, yeah, I don't want a chick sounding like Malcolm. That'd be bad.
7 p.m. There was a full moon coming from inside a fast-moving F-250.
They lassoed the moon and put it inside a truck?
That's exactly what they did.
Those rascals.
Pressed ham under glass, I think is what Mac Davis's guys used to call it.
Oh, that.
8:28 p.m. There was an actual dumpster fire. 9:17 p.m. Someone's right there was someone's.
I don't honestly think I've ever heard of an actual dumpster fire. I've heard it used for several other things, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Someone's sister kept ordering pizzas in their name and against their will. Someone's sister's stuck in a rut.
Someone's ordering pizza for me against my will.
Yep.
All right. Melodramatic much?
Yeah. 10:16 p.m. A group of kids were playing basketball in the street, which a neighbor found intimidating.
I have neighbors in my block that would find it like target practice.
These kids are annoying me. And finally,
and we thank God for that.
11:38 p.m.
It was dark.
Someone confiscated their drinking companion's belongings and kicked them out of the vehicle for being nasty.
Well, I like how you told me right up front what was involved, because it's sort of it.
Is it nasty like the guy in Slow Horses where he's constantly farting everywhere? It's actually hilarious. He's in the office with this woman he hasn't seen in years. She walks into the office. She walks out someplace, gets him something, walks back into the office and goes, "Oh my God, you're a foul human being." He goes, "Yeah, sorry, it just kind of hung around."
What do you do? It's kind of like Brokenwood when... You ever watch Brokenwood Mysteries?
No.
New Zealand show. It's kind of entertaining. The lead detective who ends up in Brokenwood is somehow a country music fan.
Oh, wow.
It's not that unique, but it's more unique, say, than if you're in Nashville.
Right.
And the young lady detective that he works with, because it's Brokenwood, it's not a metropolis.
Yep.
They were talking about dating life and the like, and he's been divorced several times. She said when she moved to Brokenwood, she tried the dating scene once because it was one of the suspects or one of the people that had discovered the body. Mm-hmm. And she basically said, "I'm walking up for our first date." And he looks and has this weird grin on his face. I step in, and now you don't hear anything because they're showing you, right? She steps in and she's got that look on her face like, what is that smell? So she tries to roll down her window, to which the first words her date utters to her are, "Oh, sorry, that window's broken." And he's laughing. First date, yes, and last.
Yeah, bad idea. Bad idea. This is not good for the, potential for conjugal rights.
Whoever raised you
conjugal rights
missed this chapter somewhere.
Yeah, I don't get that.
You idiot.
Yeah. And farted on my head once.
On purpose?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Were you married by then?
Yeah.
You know why? If you do that too soon, the marry part never shows up.
I thought Shirley Yates was going to die laughing. She goes, "You so deserved that." She's.
I would ask, did you? But we all know you did. So.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
kind of earned it. Then I went bald.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.